If you're currently an SDR, BDR, sales development representative at a company, here's exactly what you need to do to make $10,000 a month in the next 90 days. Now, the reason I can make that claim is because it's exactly what I did. I used to be an SDR too, and I figured out that there's a way that you can hit $10,000 a month with your own business in just 90 days without having to learn any new skills and leveraging the experience you already have. Now, the thing is, guys, if you're an SDR right now, you have a skill that every single business needs, generating leads, but you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're only working for one company and making a few $1,000s a month. But what if you could use the skill that you already have to make $10,000 a month, work from wherever you want, and work whenever you want, without starting a business like drop shipping or affiliate marketing that you have no idea how to do, and without working 60 to 70 hours a week? That's exactly what I'm going to share in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, so before we get into it, I want to tell you a little bit more about how I got to where I'm at right now, right? So I was 18 years old, right? And I was like, I wanted to make money online, as I'm sure a lot of you guys want to do, right? And I started seeing ads on Instagram about drop shipping, digital marketing, and SMMA. And over the course of 4 years, I tried everything, right? I literally tried everything, right? So I had 8 stores, they all failed. And here's even like a screenshot from my Snapchat memories of when I was trying drop shipping and like failing to scale. Look, like from 2018, right? I was making like $85 in like a week, right? So I was failing. And I only really made money on a dog toothbrush store that I made, but I spent so much money on ads that like I was at a net loss. Right. And then I got into SMMA. I did SMMA for dentists, chiropractors, HVAC, construction companies, and more, right? But I could never even get my first client. Right. Here's even like a proposal I made for a dentist prospect that I had in 2020. Right. I had my own Facebook page and everything. Like, look, guys. And basically everyone around me was seeing me like trying and failing. And no, I didn't close that client either, right? And then after college, I was starting to feel like I wasn't going to make it because, all my friends were becoming bankers, engineers, doctors, and I hadn't even made a penny like from any of my businesses, right? I just spent like around 20 grand like down the drain on courses and business expenses, like 4 years of failure after failure, drop shipping, SMMA, digital marketing. I tried everything, right? There was so much information out there, I had no idea where to start, right? 1 month I was into drop shipping, next I was into SEO, digital marketing. Like I just felt like I didn't know where to start, right? I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? I always wanted to run my own business, be able to work from anywhere in the world, be my own boss, right? And be able to do what I want when I want, right? But the game was rough, right? Chewed me up, spit me out many, many times, guys. But I was relentless, right? And here's when I decided to get a 9-to-5 as an SDR. Right, sales development representative at a tech company, right? Like a lot of you guys probably are who are watching this, and it resonates with you, right? Basically, the role is to generate leads for the company, right? And by generating leads, I mean just getting people to be interested in the company's product or with email, LinkedIn, cold calling. And the thing is, I realized it was pretty easy to do, and that every single business needed this, right? And then like a light bulb flicked in my head, and I was like, why can't I just do this for other businesses and get paid by all of them at the same time? Why would I work with just one company, right? And everything started flowing. The juices started flowing again. Like I started getting into it, and I just started sending out emails and LinkedIn messages. And after around like 2 weeks to like a month, I finally got a response, right? And here's the response I got. I was like, hey, Faizan, like, thanks for reaching out. Please email me. And I said, hey, sure, I'll email you now. Right? I was ecstatic, right? I hopped on the sales call and I closed the deal, right? I sent over the contract and the invoice. I felt on top of the world, right? When that money hit my Stripe account, like I was probably one of the happiest kids in the world, right? And here's a screenshot of that payment. So I actually got paid $2,000 setup fee, like $350 per call, just to generate leads for that company. Exactly what I was doing for my job. Right. So now I was making like 3-4 grand for my job. And then I was making like 3-4 grand a month from this. So I was like 21, 22 years old, making like $8K a month. Right. So it was great. And like I threw a pillow at the wall. I remember I was going crazy. Like, and that client actually ended up paying me like 35 grand for the year profit. Right. And that client allowed me to feel like I belonged. I was finally meant for this. Right. So I think I made 35K, 36K from that one client. And then I made like 40K from my job. So I made like 80K that year at like 22 years old, which is like pretty good, right? Really good for like a 21, 22 years old, fresh out of college, right? I ended up helping them like make over 2 million in revenue, right? Connecting them to like Fortune 500 firms, right? Liberty Mutual, Capital One, JP Morgan, like all with outbound. So like I was actually like good at what I did. I was good at what I did, right? I actually got my clients results, right? And after this, like all that pain, the frustration, not knowing what the future held, all that doubt from my family and friends, like it was all worth it in that moment, right? Like I knew it was finally my time, and like I can't lie, it was the best fucking feeling in the world, right? And the best part of the whole thing is once I learned how to get one client and get results for them, the game just becomes so easy, right? Because now you just rinse and repeat. Right? So then a couple months later, I had my first 10K month, and then I scaled up to 30K a month like the next year. Right? And this allowed me to live the life I always dreamed of, right? I was speaking at conferences and events. I was traveling all over the world with my best friends, London, Miami, LA, Atlanta, Scottsdale, NYC, right? I was able to work from wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, right? I had offices with city views, right, from my house. And like, I was also able to just go to the mosque, like without asking like permission from a boss, like take off Fridays, because Friday is like a holy day for Muslims, right? So I'll just get to take off Friday afternoons to just dedicate to the prayer instead of like having to work, right? And having to ask permission. So basically learning this and leveraging my SDR skills allowed me to live the life I always wanted to live, right? So now, guys, the reason I wanted to show you this and just tell you is because the first thing I want you to do is just believe that this can happen for you, right? I want you to visualize those numbers in the Stripe account, in your bank account, being able to live the life you want, like the feeling of joy knowing all the work was worth it, right? Because you just have to have the right roadmap, and you already have completed step one. You're an SDR, you have sales experience, right? So you already kind of have everything you need to make $10,000 a month in the next 3 months, right? Because if you have the right roadmap, which I'm about to share with you right now, it becomes inevitable to succeed. So what I want to do now is just get into the exact 3-step process that I use to hit 6 figures by leveraging my SDR skills to start a lead generation agency. Okay. So number 1, okay, is the leverage principle. Now, guys, instead of starting a brand new business model in something that I had no idea how to do, right? Like drop shipping or something, I just leveraged my past experience to start the business. Right? I was working with a B2B tech SaaS company, and I was able to generate them a bunch of leads, right? That was my job. So I built a lead gen agency that would help B2B tech SaaS companies generate more leads on a performance basis, meaning they didn't pay until I got results, right? It's the same exact thing I was doing at my job, right? I signed my first client for a $2,000 setup fee and $350 per lead in like 2 weeks after launching, right? So what the leverage principle is, guys, is we want to leverage our past experiences, work history, and interests to select a niche, right? Because if you can understand a specific niche even a little bit better than another person, then start with that one, because you're going to have an edge over your competitors, right? You're going to be able to resonate with them more in your messaging and your sales calls because you're able to speak their lingo. Okay. This is exactly what one of our clients, Hussein, did, right? He was an SDR at a software company, and he leveraged that experience to sign his first 2 clients in like 14 days in the software niche. Right? Now, guys, number 2, the client generating system. Okay. So now you have your systems set up and ready to start emails, and you know your niche and your offer. Now what you need to do is you need to get your first client, guys. Okay. After you do the leverage principle to figure out who you're going after, you have to get your first client, right? And the way that you do this, right? You're going to do this is the same exact way that you're going to be getting results for your client, right? And it's going to be automated cold email sending. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a lead list on Apollo, like the one here, right? Or whatever data scraping tool you use. Like if you're an SDR, you know how to get leads, right? You know how to generate leads, right? You're literally going to replicate the same exact process that you've been doing for the job that you're at to get leads for yourself. And then you're going to replicate that to get results for your clients, right? Okay. That's exactly what you're going to do. So here's like an example of an email you can send. Like, feel free to copy this, right? I'm not going to read all of them, but like just literally this. You could just pause the video and like record this, write it down, right? And the thing is, some people are going to say no, some people are going to say yes, right? And with the people that say yes, you're just going to schedule a discovery call with them. And then discovery call is just to make sure that, the prospect actually needs your services, and you just make sure they're a good fit, right? And they're also going to be trusting you right out of the gate, right? This is what I love about this model so much, because the exact thing that got them on the call, right? That's what you're going to be doing for them, right? So you've already proven your competence, right? You've already, like, if you can get them on a call with cold email, you can get them results with cold email, right? Because that's exactly what you did to get them on a call, right? So guys, if they're a good fit, you're going to schedule a proposal call with them, and you're going to walk them through through like two things that you create for them in between those calls, right? And those two things are going to be a pitch deck and an agreement. Okay. A pitch deck is just going to be like, you're just going to talk about their issues with generating leads, and you're going to position yourself as the bridge to the solution that they want, right? You're going to walk them through the process and the numbers, right? Like I did for you earlier in this video, right? Okay. So the agreement is the contract that just has your terms and pricing, right? And your pricing should be a performance-based offer. What you're going to do is you're going to charge them $1,000 to $3,000 as a setup fee, and like around $300 for every call that you book. Okay. And then when they agree, you just build them the same system that you built for yourself, with the same exact process that you did for your company to get clients, right? To get them leads. That's the beauty of outbound, guys. One skill, one method, one system for yourself and your clients, right? And this is exactly what Sean did, right? Like one of our clients, to sign his first 2 clients and make like around $5,000 USD while working a full-time job, right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this exact same process 2 to 5 times to get a couple clients, right? And then you're going to shift your focus on getting results for them so you could really scale, right? And that leads us to the last part of the system, okay? Now, before I go to the last step of the system, guys, if you want a more full in-depth roadmap, like a full free course on exactly how to do this, I have a full like free 2-hour course on exactly how to do all this step by step, literally sharing my screen, showing you exactly what you need to do to hit $10,000 a month, right? You can check out that video in the description below. All right, guys. Now, the last part of the system is service delivery and scaling, guys. Now, right after you get those clients, you have to get them results, right? But you don't really know anything about their business yet, right? So what you need to do is you need to send them an onboarding form and then set up an onboarding session with the client so that you know exactly who their target market is, what their offer is, and what their case studies and testimonials are, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to use that to create your lead list and your email campaigns, right? Now, this is exactly what the fulfillment process looks like for my agency, right? So onboarding, you invite them to your Slack channel, you tell them to fill out your onboarding form, and then in the meantime, you set up their cold email infrastructure, which is going to be like the domains and like setting up the email sending software. And then you have an onboarding call with the client. And this is where the client provides you a list based on the past ICP, like their lead list. And then you're going to create a list, and then you're going to send it in the Slack channel. And then this is where you're going to prepare your email messaging. You're going to send it over to them for review. And then you're going to launch campaigns. You're going to handle the responses. You're going to book meetings every single month for the client via Calendly or whatever scheduling link you use. And then when a meeting is booked, a Slack message will be sent in the client's channel. And then the client will have access to an Excel table with a list of all the calls booked. And then at the end of the month, you charge on the first of the month based on the amount of calls booked the month prior, right? So this is literally the whole entire fulfillment system, guys. Okay. So and this is me like kind of breaking it down. So after they fill out the onboarding form, you're going to use it to build a lead list with Apollo or like what other data scraping tool you use, right? And then you're going to craft different variations of email campaigns to send to a lead list, right? So for each campaign, you're going to send like around 1,000 leads. This is what you're going to use as a gauge for your offer. Now, this below is like the actual proposal that I send to my clients, right? It's actually the exact process that I use to generate 10 to 20 calls a month for my clients, right? So what we do is we test email scripts according to the styles that we have found to work best. So we split test many different elements of the scripts, like the pain points, the offer, and the call to action to see which ones work best, right? So the variables we have is like first name, personalization plus pain, offer plus case study, CTA, and signature, right? This is like an example of like a campaign or an email that we would send for a client. Okay. Now, our campaign structure, essentially what we do is we just test 7 different script combinations and variations at the same time to see what combinations work best, right? So after we have a target market, we have an offer where we create like 7 different combinations of those variables. And then we want to see if we have a 0.3% booking rate, right? If we can get a 0.3% booking rate, then we can scale the campaign. And if not, then we want to create new combinations of the target market until we find something that does, right? So guys, if you can book 5 calls from a campaign of 1,000 leads, you're going to scale that campaign to the moon. Okay. Meaning you want to add the whole TAM and you're going to let it print. All right. It's just pure math, right? When you hit this number, you're going to be able to generate 20 sales calls a month, every single month for your client, and get paid like $5,000 to $7,000 a month per client that you have. Right. And that's when you're going to get your first case study. Right. So a case study is basically one of your clients making a video saying that they worked with you and that you got them great results, right? Now, a video interview is going to work great for this as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to just hop on a Zoom call with that client that you got good results for, and you're going to ask them, how was their pipeline and calendar before you started working with them? How many calls are they booking now, right? How much revenue has been added since they started working with you? And has this affected any other parts of their life or business, right? You're going to do a Zoom call with them and record this. And then this is the kicker, guys. You're going to put that on your landing page, right, as social proof for other potential clients to see, right? So now you're going to have social proof and testimonials that you can use in your email copy to get way more attention from potential clients, right? So for example, let's say that you worked with an SEO marketing agency and you helped them make $20,000 with cold email. Now you could reach out to all the SEO companies in the world and say, hey, first name, I came across your company and saw you've worked with some pretty notable companies, so I thought this would be relevant. I helped X agency generate $20,000 in new deals last month by helping them generate calls and pipeline using outbound automation. Would this be worth exploring further, right? This is what's going to make your offer stand out for the crowd, guys. And this is exactly how you're going to get to $10,000 a month. Now guys, you can reverse engineer this and do this for yourself as well. In fact, you should 100% be doing this, even if you're working a 9-to-5 right now. Work on something in your off time that's going to make you big money, because your SDR job and working a 9-to-5 is not what's going to make you financially free. Now guys, I just shared with you the exact roadmap that you can use to quit your 9-to-5 and make 6 figures remotely. If you go ahead and follow the steps I've laid out, you should be able to make some progress. But it's definitely going to come with some bottlenecks and some challenges that you don't know how to get over. So if you want to work with me one-on-one to guarantee we can get this new business to $100,000 a year run rate in the next 90 days, guaranteed, or you don't pay, then click the link in the description below and book a call with my team. Working with us, we're going to build your leveraged high-ticket offer by leveraging your past experience so that you have an edge in the market. Then we're going to build your client-generating system that's going to allow you to get clients on autopilot and book sales calls on autopilot. And then we'll work with you one-on-one to nail service delivery and scaling and get you to $100,000 a year run rate in the next 90 days guaranteed. And guys, again, we're so confident that we can do this that if we don't have you at $100,000 per year run rate in the next 90 days, you don't pay a penny. We'll refund you 100%. And the reason we can do that is because of our track record of success. So go ahead and click the link below to book a call with us if you're interested.